And talk about, before you joined Jane's Addiction, were you a fan of the band?
Oh yeah, got it back. I mean, I was a fan from Triple X.
Okay,
Obviously,
all the
nothing
way.
shocking and
Sure.
Ritual and all the way through. Always a fan of Avery. I know he wrote, I think he wrote 3 Days when he was like 12 years old. Just the main bass line.
Wow.
I think of those lines as almost like nursery rhyme-esque.
Sure.
Like we've done shows in South America where like the crowd is humming Mountain Song more than even Perry's melody. No offense to the melody, but that kind of all I'm getting at is the sort of core nugget of what a great
That's amazing.
bass line.
Now, how did you get the call or the audition? How'd that all come about?
I met those guys when I was playing with Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
And got a call from Stephen Perkins. I was actually in Martha's Vineyard working on a record with Carly Simon back when cell phones were like, this is in 2001? No, 2002.
Okay.
And they're like they weren't suitcase cell phones, but big enough where
a
I
brick.
barely had a reception. And he called me and said, hey, we're going in the studio with Bob Ezrin. I'd like to have you come and do some recording. We have a couple shows ready and live at Leeds. But I just had got there and I couldn't get back to, LA. So Perry said, dude, we're not going to be able to rehearse, you better nail it. I'd met Perry once he was with Porno for Pyros.
Right.
I was playing with Taylor and with Alanis.
Sure.
And basically we met them on like the Jingle Ball, one of those kind of radio festivals on the East Coast. So that was sort of my introduction to the band.
That's amazing. Now, what kind of experience has it been for you?
Oh, unbelievable. It's been great, yeah.
Touring the world.
Touring the world, which I had done, but, different kind of capacity.
Yeah.
And Perkins is such a unique drummer. His style it's a real inspiration. He's one of those guys, he's not like just like a 2-4 pocket player.
Mm-hmm.
His approach to drumming is it's such a spiritual, deep place. It's an experience, and it's always keeps you on guard, always on your toes to keep up with him.
Sure.
So.
No, where'd you grow up?
Up in a town called Mill Valley.
Okay.
Northern California.
And how long have you been in LA?
I've been in LA since '91.
Okay.
Summer of '91.
Okay.
I was sort of driven out here by a friend of mine I'd met Gary Novak, but Gary was one of my good friends, and he was somewhat motivational for me to get down here. So.
Well, I know you don't have quite the history those guys do, but what does it mean to have this star on the boulevard? Because I know they grew up around here, Triple X right up the street, and of course they talked about the pizzeria meeting and all that. What does it mean to you and the band to be on the boulevard right up the block here with all the legends?
It's almost hard to even put into words because it doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a true honor. And like you sort of said, I don't have the same length of history, even though I've probably done more shows than Eric ever did, just in the time I've been with him. But it just, I can't describe it other than saying it's a true honor and it's somewhat surreal. And
Well, knowing
I feel like the band, take me out of the equation, the band deserves it, period. And I'm just happy to be along, being in the band at this state. They're still going. Perry's in his 50s and still he's got the energy of like, you mix Iggy and Bowie and all these guys, and he's just an enigmatic front man, such a
I mean, the Lollapalooza festivals influenced the Coachellas and the Bonnaroos and all of that. So. But I know how special it is to them, like Perry said at the induction, that the songs are about a lot of the characters of the creative community here in Hollywood. And, a Grammy or something to put on the shelf is one thing, but be able to walk up the boulevard.
Oh, I just did.
Next to...
We hadn't seen it. My wife and I just walked up there. I'm like, God, we're right next to the star.
Right there.
Let's go see it in actual, without a million people around. Hi, it's Chris Chaney from Jane's Addiction, and if you believe in your music, listen to Indie Power.